Welcome, everyone. Happy New Year. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the forecast for each life path number for the beginning of this new year, January 2025. Before we get into the forecast, this, of course, is a general reading. If you would like your own personal reading with your own personal numerology, please book some time with me. I would love to work with you. My information is in the description box below. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this big energy that we are kicking off 2025 with. Life path number 8, you are going to be working with the vibration of the 18-9 for January. This is a really interesting energy. It's really beautiful to start the year off with. It kind of forces you, though, to kind of slow down a little bit, to slow down from the fast pace of your life and to take a time out. So it doesn't mean that you have to completely go off grid and disconnect and go into complete exile and solitude. Although if that speaks to you, you certainly can. But you likely will see in certain areas of your life, things slow down, right? So maybe you had a lot of momentum in some area. You could see the brakes kind of be put on a little bit. And it's not punitive. It's just helping you to gain your strength, to, recall your energy, to be able to replenish, and also to slow down enough to see, to check in with yourself and to make sure that holistically you feel good about what you're doing, the path you're on, your relationships, etc. So it's kind of a checkpoint month and a checkpoint energy that is helping you to see what's depleting you, where can you replenish, how can you replenish, what does that look like? And so you might have to, either the brakes will be put on for you in some area of life, or you might have to put the brakes on in some area of life so that you can, get rejuvenated. And to pay attention to the finer details, right? So that you don't miss anything as you start to ramp up for 2025 and as you continue forward. So it's actually a really beautiful, beneficial healing energy as well. It can bring in a lot of opportunities for healing. Again, holistic healing. So anywhere you feel out of balance or disconnected, this energy can help you to get reconnected and again, rejuvenated. So pay attention at this time to what your body needs holistically. So, maybe this is going to be an opportunity where, you're listening to your body and it needs more movement, or it needs, a different healthy food or whatever, or more sleep, right? Maybe you need more sleep. So this is a great time to get a better idea of what you need, not what other people are telling you that you need, but truly how you feel, like what can help to get you into balance, right? So again, exercise outdoors, eat properly, get sufficient sleep, again, just move your body more, have a better work-life balance. These are all things that can come into your vantage point now to take a closer look at it and see where is it that you need to, give yourself a little TLC in that area to get back on track, to get balanced out so that you have the energy and, you're able to move forward this coming year and get the most out of it. Your dreams could be super vivid right now and very active. So pay attention to that as well, because a lot can come through our dreams. You might find that you have a very vivid imagination at this time, which can be really beneficial for bringing in new plans and new ideas. This is definitely not a time if you can avoid it. Now, obviously, sometimes life happens and, we can't avoid it. We have to live life. The astrology, the numerology doesn't dictate that, right? So if you can avoid it, this isn't the time to start new projects, especially if they're time-consuming, require an extreme commitment. This is more the time for planning and allowing those ideas to sort of germinate and kind of grow and be nurtured a little bit, right? So this is more of a planning period, a rest and relaxation and rejuvenation and planning period, if you can allow for it. And it doesn't mean every waking moment has to be dedicated to this, but it's just a slower pace this month, or it's meant to be, so that you can really make sure that whatever the seeds are that you're planting are the crops that you want to grow. And that you have the energy to make sure that you can sustain those crops once they do grow. So not a good time to start new projects if you can avoid it, but definitely an excellent time for getting your ducks in a row. And you will see, if you can do this, you can see that these seeds will blossom later and will likely be quite fruitful depending on the nurturing and the caring that you give them this month, right? New occupations could come in, new opportunities, new projects, new relationships. This is definitely a time for new things coming in, right? But it's not necessarily the time to go all in this month, or again, take that big leap, take that big risk. This is a month where you want to ease into it, right? Let it present, explore it, decide what you want to do with it, and then slowly but surely ease into it. And then next month, February, will be a much more supportive energy for that initiation, for getting started, for taking action. But this month, it's more about getting your ducks in a row and making sure your ducks are healthy. You could find that your health improves this month if you've been going sort of through some kind of health issue or something chronic that you maybe have been dealing with. This can be a time where the solutions sort of come in at this time to at least be able to manage whatever you've been kind of working through. But it's a very healing energy. So even if it's not about healing your health, it's more about healing the holistic health, right? So the whole holistic being. So you could see opportunities for healing body, mind, spirit, right, this month. So if you've been feeling disconnected spiritually, you could see some things come in now that reconnect you to that sense of self, that sense of, connecting with your soul, the universe, whatever. So it can be a very healing period. It can also be a period where you tap into some of your own healing gifts, meaning that you can use with your clients, with, in your own life, with that you contribute in life. So you could tap into some beautiful gifts of your own this month that you can use to heal yourself, work on healing yourself as well as helping to heal others as well. Pay attention to your thoughts this month. This is a big one. Your thoughts have potency. So make sure that where there's a lot of self-doubt, where there's a lot of negativity, where you're really not talking very nicely to yourself, this is a month where you want to try to heal that because, your thoughts can really have control over your own holistic well-being. We know this. And so you want to pay attention to how do you speak to yourself? How do you treat yourself? This is a month to start to get that in order so that you're not your own worst enemy, especially being driven off of negativity or pessimism, right? Or cynicism. Make sure that you work to shift that language that you're using towards yourself. And you'll see, once you get into balance internally, you'll start to see that balance externally. So if you're being really ugly to yourself, it's hard to see the beauty externally. But when you're being really nice and beautiful to yourself, you can start to see that externally. And so it really does create a shift. And this month is an opportunity to, start that process of having that shift. This is also a beautiful time to get organized. So if you've been feeling a little bit chaotic or a little bit sort of discombobulated when it comes to your life in whatever area, this is such a great time to get your environment in order. Get your, clean out your house, organize your desk, finish up those odds and ends that have been sort of nagging at you, to get finished and you've been procrastinating. This is such a great time to tie up those loose ends, to get things, neat and tidy and organized. Clean up the thoughts in your head, clear up that, the cobwebs that might be, holding you back in the mind, right? Those old thoughts that aren't serving you anymore and just collecting dust. So great time to get organized in whatever area of life, kind of like spring cleaning, holistically and in your environment. And I would also say be careful about any reactivity at this time, being overly reactive, hypersensitive. just take your time. Everything about this month is a slower pace. So if there's that charged energy, bring it back to neutral, calm the mind, and then respond accordingly, because that reactivity can create separation, can create divide, and it can be a lot harder to clean that up than just taking your time on the front end and responding in the best way. Also, I would say be careful about, well, not be careful, just be mindful about any documents that you sign at this time. This would not be the best time, again, to commit to something long-term if you can hold off. If you have to sign, then sign, right? But I would say don't sign anything without your due diligence, without having done the work to make sure that what you're committing to, feels right for you and makes sense in the long term. I'd definitely be on guard, or just kind of, just kind of vigilant about any kind of deception in business or even personal affairs and family quarrels. Just make sure, again, any rashness or carelessness can come back and bite you in the butt. And same thing with reactivity. So just make sure, you're taking your time. And it's interesting because your animal wisdom message is coming from cricket energy. And so this is really about the moral compass and making sure that you're coming back to self and letting that drive your actions. So again, pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to the actions that you're taking from those thoughts. Are they serving you or are they not serving you? This is the time to clear that clutter. Come back to your integrity. Come back to your why. This is a beautiful month for coming back to your why. If what you're doing is not in alignment with your why, then it's time to shift gears. And this is a perfect month to do that. Same thing when it comes to, if you don't feel good, health-wise, this is a great month to try something that will help you to feel better, right? Whether it's, again, get more sleep, don't overwork, eat healthy, blah, blah, blah. So with this energy coming through, it's take your time, come back to your inner compass, your moral compass, your internal compass, and just make sure that the direction you're moving in, especially as we start this new energy, this new year, feels good for you, right? So beautiful energy, 8s. It can feel a little frustrating though, because it is a slower pace, and it might feel like a roadblock, but it's not really a roadblock. It's more of a checkpoint energy. So use it wisely. All right, take care, 8s. Bye for now.